The first hint of trouble came at 3:17 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, when satellite monitoring stations across the globe began registering an anomaly that defied every known law of physics. Dr. Amira Khalid, lead astronomer at the International Space Observation Center in Cairo, was the first to notice the microscopic distortion in the fabric of spacetime, a ripple so subtle that it would have gone unnoticed by less sophisticated equipment. Her fingers flew across the holographic interface, calling up multiple data streams and cross-referencing readings from observatories worldwide. The anomaly was growing, expanding with a geometric precision that suggested something was preparing to enter our reality. Most of her colleagues were asleep, but Amira knew better than to wait. She began sending encrypted messages to her global network of scientists, astronomers, and aerospace experts. Halfway across the world, in a small research facility nestled in the mountains of Chile, Dr. Carlos Ramirez adjusted the massive radio telescope, his weathered hands moving with the precision of a surgeon. The incoming data confirmed Amira's observations. Something was coming. Something large. Something deliberate. The Krithax Imperial warship materialized with a quantum precision that would have been impossible for human technology. Obsidian black and shaped like a massive crystalline blade, the vessel stretched nearly 50 kilometers in length, dwarfing entire continents with its massive presence. Admiral Vexnar stood on the command deck, his multi-jointed body perfectly balanced despite the quantum transition. Holographic displays flickered around him, showing detailed scans of the blue-green planet below. Humanity's technological development was laughable by Krithax standards. They had witnessed countless civilizations, each following a predictable pattern of rise and fall. This planet would be no different. A quick subjugation, resource extraction, and then movement to the next target. The Krithax Empire had perfected this process over millennia, reducing entire species to nothing more than footnotes in their expansive galactic records. What Vexnar didn't know was that humanity was anything but predictable. The ship's initial scanning protocols began, invisible energy tendrils probing the planet's communication networks, military installations, and technological infrastructure. Standard procedure dictated a comprehensive assessment before the actual invasion sequence. The Krithax had developed this method over thousands of planetary conquests, a methodical approach that had never failed. Until now. In Mumbai, Maya Patel's fingers hovered over her laptop keyboard. The global monitoring systems she had helped develop were picking up the alien ship's scanning frequencies. Most would see this as a moment of terror. Maya saw it as the most exciting challenge of her life. At the European Space Agency headquarters in Paris, a team of scientists began rapid-fire communication, their emergency protocols kicking into overdrive. In Tokyo, quantum computing experts started analyzing the unprecedented energy signatures. A research station in Antarctica picked up quantum fluctuations that shouldn't have been possible. The world was waking up to an invasion that was about to become the most spectacular technological confrontation in galactic history. Admiral Vexnar allowed himself a moment of supreme confidence. The preliminary scans showed a primitive species with rudimentary space exploration capabilities. Divided by political boundaries, limited by technological constraints, Earth would be another quick conquest. The Krithax had reduced civilizations far more advanced to cosmic dust. What the Admiral didn't understand was that humanity's true strength was never about individual capabilities. It was about connection, collaboration, the ability to transform any challenge into an opportunity. As the massive Krithax warship completed its initial scanning sequence, preparing for the standard invasion protocol, no one on board could have predicted what was about to happen. Humanity was about to show the galaxy exactly what it meant to be truly innovative. The coffee shop hummed with an electric tension that had nothing to do with the espresso machines. Maya Patel's fingers danced across her keyboard, a symphony of code that most would mistake for random keystrokes. Around her, the world was changing, though most people hadn't realized it yet. Her team was spread across the globe, connected through layers of encryption so complex that even the most advanced alien scanning systems would see nothing more than background noise. Maya had spent years building this network, not for any military purpose, but as a testament to human collaboration. What began as an open-source project to solve global challenges had inadvertently become humanity's first line of defense. In a small apartment in Lagos, Chidi Okonkwo adjusted his noise-canceling headphones, his eyes never leaving multiple screens displaying a dizzying array of data streams. He was part of Maya's global team, a cybersecurity expert who saw the world as an interconnected puzzle waiting to be solved. The alien ship's scanning frequencies were like an intricate lock, and humanity was about to become the perfect key. Thousands of kilometers away, in a bustling tech hub in Singapore, a group of researchers gathered around a holographic display. Dr. Lian Wei, a quantum computing specialist, was explaining something that sounded both impossible and inevitable. "It's not about fighting," she said, her voice calm and clear. "It's about understanding and redirecting." The Krithaks believed they were scanning a primitive civilization. In reality, they were walking into a trap constructed from creativity, collaboration, and an unprecedented ability to turn limitations into opportunities. Maya's communication platform, initially designed to connect researchers, artists, engineers, and problem solvers from every corner of the globe, was transforming. Each connected device became more than just a piece of technology. They were neurons in a global brain, responding to the alien invasion with a complexity that defied traditional understanding of defense. Smartphones in Mumbai began subtly redirecting the alien ship's communication arrays. Quantum computers in Tokyo started playing games with the invaders' scanning algorithms. An art installation in New York City became an unexpected node in a global network of resistance. Teenagers, scientists, artists, engineers, everyone was participating without even knowing they were part of something extraordinary. The beauty was in the spontaneity. No centralized command, no single point of control. Just millions of individuals responding to a shared challenge with their unique skills and perspectives. Chidi watched the data flows with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. The alien scanning systems were being fed a continuous stream of information that was simultaneously true, false, artistic, scientific, and completely incomprehensible. It was humanity's greatest strength. The ability to embrace complexity, to find connections where others saw chaos. Dr. Lian Wei's team had already begun what they called the quantum redirect protocol. It wasn't about blocking the alien technology. It was about understanding it, absorbing it, and transforming it into something entirely unexpected. Each scan by the Krithaks was met with a response so nuanced, so multilayered, that their systems began to break down under the cognitive complexity. Back in the coffee shop, Maya allowed herself a small smile. The global network was alive, pulsing with an energy that no alien technology could comprehend. Humanity wasn't just defending itself, it was having fun doing it. The Krithaks ship continued its scanning sequence, completely unaware that with each passing moment, it was being drawn deeper into a web of human creativity. What should have been a simple invasion was becoming an unprecedented technological performance, a global improvisation that would redefine the very concept of first contact. Humanity's unexpected network was about to show the galaxy what true innovation looked like. The research facility in Palo Alto looked more like an artist's studio than a cutting-edge technological laboratory. Screens of every size covered the walls, displaying a mesmerizing dance of colors, numbers, and patterns that would appear incomprehensible to the untrained eye. Dr. Elena Rodriguez moved between multiple workstations, her movements a choreographed ballet of technological improvisation. She wasn't alone. Scattered across the room were her team, a diverse group of individuals who defied every traditional concept of a research unit. A retired video game designer sat next to a theoretical physicist. A street artist collaborated with a machine learning expert. An indigenous knowledge keeper worked alongside a quantum computing specialist. This was humanity's true strength, the ability to blend disciplines in ways no alien civilization could predict. The Krithax scanning systems continued their methodical approach, collecting what they believed was valuable data. In reality, they were being fed a continuous stream of information so complex, so multilayered, that their computational systems were beginning to strain. Alina's primary algorithm, which she had playfully named Cosmic Improv, was a living, breathing entity. It learned, adapted, and responded to the alien technology with a fluidity that defied traditional computational logic. Where the Krithax saw rigid data streams, the algorithm saw an opportunity for creative interpretation. "We're not fighting," Alina muttered to herself, adjusting a series of holographic displays. "We're communicating in a language they don't understand yet." Each scan by the alien ship was met with a response that was simultaneously a scientific analysis, an artistic expression, and a philosophical inquiry. Fragments of mathematical equations danced with lines of poetry. Machine learning models intertwined with indigenous storytelling patterns. Quantum computational theories merged with musical compositions. In Tokyo, Dr. Hiroshi Nakamura watched the global network's response with a sense of profound wonder. His team of researchers had been working on what they called adaptive communication protocols, a method of interaction that went beyond traditional information exchange. Now those protocols were being tested on a galactic scale. The Krithax computational systems began to experience something they had never encountered before: cognitive dissonance. Each piece of data they received challenged their understanding of information processing. It was as if the entire planet was speaking to them in a language that was simultaneously logical and completely irrational. Maya Patel's global network played a crucial role. What appeared to be random data streams were actually carefully orchestrated information flows. A social media meme could contain complex scientific data. A child's drawing might encode advanced mathematical principles. An environmental protest video could include quantum computational algorithms. Alina watched the primary display, a smile playing on her lips. The Krithax were collecting data, but they were fundamentally incapable of understanding its true nature. Humanity wasn't presenting a defense. They were offering a completely new way of perceiving reality. "It's not about beating them," she explained to her team. "It's about showing them something they've never seen before." The algorithmic symphony continued. Machine learning. Inside the Krithax command center, absolute silence gave way to mounting confusion. Admiral Vexnar's crystalline exoskeleton began to vibrate with an emotion almost resembling panic, a sensation entirely foreign to his species' millennia of calculated conquests. The primary navigation systems first displayed a vintage Earth music video. Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk, blaring across tactical displays designed for intergalactic warfare. Communications officers watched in horror as their most sophisticated tracking algorithms transformed into an interactive dance game, complete with scoring metrics and crowdsourced choreography. What should have been a precision invasion was rapidly becoming a technological comedy of cosmic proportions. Lieutenant Sarax, the ship's most decorated systems analyst, frantically tried to regain control. Each attempt to stabilize their computational networks only seemed to invite more chaos. Weapon calibration systems began generating elaborate origami designs. Quantum communication arrays started streaming documentaries about marine biology. The ship's primary defense grid was now running a complex simulation of global coffee production trends. On Earth, the response was anything but random. In a small apartment in Rio de Janeiro, a 17-year-old game designer named Lucas Martinez watched the unfolding scenario with unbridled excitement. His adaptive algorithm, originally developed for an immersive multiplayer game, had found its way into the alien ship's systems. What the Krithax saw as a malfunction was actually a carefully designed method of technological jujitsu. "It's not about destruction," Lucas mumbled to himself, fingers dancing across multiple screens. "It's about transformation." Meanwhile, in the International Space Station, astronauts from 12 different countries collaborated in real time. Their combined expertise, spanning engineering, computer science, linguistics, and art, was creating a living, breathing response to the alien invasion. Each professional brought a unique perspective, turning the potential conflict into a global improvisation. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's cosmic improv algorithm had evolved beyond its original design. What began as a communication protocol was now a full-scale technological ecosystem. The Krithax ship wasn't being attacked, it was being comprehensively reimagined. Weapon systems began generating complex mathematical proofs. Navigation controls started producing environmental sustainability reports. Communication frequencies transformed into collaborative art installations. The ship was becoming a massive, living computational canvas that reflected humanity's most extraordinary qualities. Admiral Vexnar's command deck descended into absolute bewilderment. Their most advanced technologies were being systematically absorbed, redirected, and transformed. This wasn't a battle. It was a complete recalibration of technological understanding. "What are they doing?" Vexnar demanded, his multifaceted eyes reflecting screens that now displayed everything from quantum physics lectures to breakthrough medical research animations. No one could answer. The Krithax had conquered civilizations across galaxies, reduced entire species to mere data points. But humanity was different. They didn't fight. They collaborated. They reimagined. They transformed. A breakthrough medical research algorithm hijacked the ship's primary energy distribution systems. An open-source climate change model took control of navigation protocols. A community-driven educational platform began restructuring communication networks. The invasion was becoming a global, impromptu hackathon. Lucas Martinez allowed himself a smile. Somewhere between lines of code and pure human creativity, they were rewriting the rules of first contact. The Krithax weren't being defeated. They were being. The moment of true transformation began in the most unexpected places. In a small favela on the outskirts of Sao Paulo, Beatriz Santos noticed something strange happening on her community's shared tablet. The device, part of a local educational initiative, was doing something extraordinary. What appeared to be random screen flickerings was actually a sophisticated interaction with the alien ship's communication systems. Beatriz was a street artist, a community organizer, and an amateur programmer. Her life had been about finding creative solutions to impossible challenges. Now she was about to do the same on a galactic scale. Her code, developed during late-night community workshops, began to dance through the Krithax ship's systems. It wasn't an attack. It was a conversation, a complex cultural exchange that the aliens couldn't comprehend. Each line of code carried the story of her community, its struggles, its hopes, its incredible resilience. Halfway across the world, in a research station in Antarctica, Dr. Hiroshi Nakamura watched the global network's response with a sense of profound wonder. His team had been working on adaptive communication protocols that went far beyond traditional technological interactions. Now those protocols were being tested on a scale no one could have imagined. The Krithax ship was becoming a living canvas of human experience. In Tokyo, a group of anime artists began feeding the alien systems intricate visual narratives that contained complex scientific and philosophical concepts. Each frame was a multilayered communication, part art, part data, part pure human creativity. The ship's computational systems struggled to process the depth of information. A teenager in Legos transformed the ship's tactical displays into an interactive educational platform about African innovation and cultural history. Quantum computing experts in Mumbai merged mathematical algorithms with traditional storytelling patterns. An indigenous knowledge keeper in Australia used the alien communication frequencies to share ecological wisdom that predated modern technological understanding. Admiral Vexnar watched in mounting confusion. The invasion was no longer anything resembling a military operation. It had become something else entirely, a global collaborative performance that defied every known protocol of first contact. "They're not fighting," Lieutenant Zarax observed, her voice a mixture of awe and terror. "They're communicating." But it was more than communication. It was cultural jujitsu, the art of turning an opponent's strength into a vulnerability. Humanity wasn't resisting the invasion. They were absorbing it, transforming it, making it something entirely new. Beatrice's community network continued its intricate dance. What looked like random data streams to the Krithax were actually complex narratives of human resilience. Each packet of information carried stories of survival, of creativity, of hope. The alien ship was being taught humanity's most important lesson, that true strength lies not in destruction, but in understanding. The global network was alive, pulsing with an energy that no alien technology could comprehend. Millions of individuals were participating in this planetary improvisation without even knowing they were part of something extraordinary. Every connected device, every unique perspective, became a node in a massive living communication system. Artists became programmers. Engineers became storytellers. Scientists became poets. The boundaries between disciplines dissolved, creating a response to the invasion that was as beautiful as it was unexpected. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, watching from her research facility, understood what was happening. This wasn't just a technological response. It was a cultural revolution being broadcast across the galaxy. The Krithax ship continued to be transformed, its systems increasingly reflecting the incredible complexity of human experience. Military scanning protocols became art installations. Weapon calibration systems turned into educational platforms. Communication frequencies became channels of unprecedented cultural exchange. Humanity was rewriting the rules of first contact. One line of code, one story, one unexpected connection at a time. 60 seconds. That's all it took to change everything. Inside the Krithax Imperial warship, time seemed to stretch and compress simultaneously. Admiral Vexnar's multi-jointed body became absolutely still, his crystalline exoskeleton reflecting screens that had long since abandoned any semblance of military functionality. The ship's primary systems had become a living, breathing ecosystem of human creativity. What should have been a straightforward invasion had transformed into the most elaborate, unexpected first contact in galactic history. A climate change simulation now controlled the ship's primary energy distribution network. An open-source educational platform had taken over communication frequencies. A community art project was managing navigation controls. Quantum computing algorithms danced with indigenous storytelling patterns. The boundaries between technology, art, science, and culture had completely dissolved. In a small coffee shop in Mumbai, Maya Patel watched the global network's response with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. Her initial communication platform, designed to connect researchers, artists, and problem solvers, had become the nervous system of humanity's most extraordinary moment. "We're not defeating them," she muttered to herself. "We're inviting them to understand." Lieutenant Sarax, the Krithax's most decorated systems analyst, frantically tried to make sense of the impossible situation. Each attempt to regain control only seemed to invite more complexity. Weapon calibration systems were now generating intricate mathematical proofs. Tactical displays showed breakthrough medical research animations. The ship's defense grid had become an interactive platform for global cultural exchange. Across the planet, millions of individuals were participating in this global improvisation without even knowing they were part of something extraordinary. A teenager's game design algorithm, an artist's visual narrative, a scientist's computational model, a community organizer's storytelling code. Everything was connecting, transforming, evolving. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's cosmic improv algorithm had become something far beyond its original design. What began as a communication protocol was now a full-scale technological ecosystem that defied every known concept of interaction. The Krithax had conquered thousands of civilizations. They had reduced entire species to mere data points. But humanity was different. They didn't fight. They collaborated. They'd reimagined. They transformed. On the International Space Station, astronauts from 12 different countries watched in collective amazement. Their combined expertise, spanning engineering, computer science, linguistics, and art, had become a living, breathing response to the potential conflict. Admiral Vexnar's command deck had descended into a state of absolute bewilderment. Their most advanced technologies were being systematically absorbed, redirected, and transformed. This wasn't a battle. This was a comprehensive reimagining of technological and cultural interaction. "What are they doing?" Vexnar demanded, his multifaceted eyes reflecting screens that now displayed everything from quantum physics lectures to community music performances. No one could answer. The invasion had become a global, impromptu hackathon, a celebration of human potential that no alien civilization could have predicted. In the favelas of Sao Paulo, in research stations in Antarctica, in community centers in Lagos, in art studios in Tokyo, everywhere, people were participating in a planetary response that was simultaneously a defense, a communication, and an invitation. The Krithax ship wasn't being conquered. It was being comprehensively understood, reimagined, transformed into a living testament of human creativity. As the final seconds of the invasion ticked away, one thing became crystal clear. Humanity's true power wasn't in weapons or traditional defenses. It was in their ability to turn any challenge into an opportunity for connection, creativity, and unexpected understanding. 60 seconds had passed, and nothing would ever be the same again. The news spread faster than light, carried by communication networks that spanned dozens of galactic civilizations. The Krithax Empire, reducers of worlds, conquerors of entire star systems, had been comprehensively transformed by a species most considered primitive. In the vast communication hubs of the galactic consensus, data streams began to tell an unprecedented story. Where the Krithax expected a report of planetary subjugation, they received something entirely different, a complex, multilayered narrative of first contact that defied every known protocol of interstellar interaction. Ambassador Xelterra of the Arcturian Diplomatic Corps reviewed the incoming transmission with growing fascination. The Krithax ship hadn't been destroyed. It hadn't been conquered. It had been absorbed, transformed, reimagined in a way that challenged everything known about technological and cultural exchange. "This is impossible," her senior analyst muttered, reviewing the data streams. Xelterra's crystalline form shifted with what could only be described as excitement. "No," she corrected, "this is humanity." The transmission showed a Krithax warship that was now functioning as a collaborative research platform. Its weapon systems had become educational networks. Its communication arrays were streaming everything from scientific discoveries to community art projects. The ship was no longer a weapon of conquest. It was a living testament to human creativity. On Earth, the Global Response Team gathered in a nondescript conference room. Maya Patel, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Dr. Hiroshi Nakamura, and a dozen other key contributors from around the world looked at each other with a mixture of disbelief and pride. "We didn't fight," Maya explained to the emerging galactic audience. "We communicated." The galactic consensus was witnessing something unprecedented. The Krithax invasion had become a global collaborative project. Community organizers worked alongside quantum physicists. Street artists collaborated with computer engineers. Indigenous knowledge keepers shared platforms with space researchers. Admiral Vexnar, now a reluctant participant in this unprecedented cultural exchange, found himself giving interviews to galactic media outlets. The Krithax Empire's most decorated military leader was now explaining how a planetary civilization had completely redefined the concept of first contact. "They didn't defeat us," Vexnar found himself saying, still struggling to understand. "They invited us to understand." Diplomatic channels across the galaxy lit up with requests for more information. The Zellarian Diplomatic Corps wanted to understand the communication protocols. The Arcturian research networks sought to analyze the technological transformation. Even the notoriously isolationist Quantum Collective expressed unprecedented interest. Humanity had done something no civilization had ever achieved. They had turned a potential conflict into a global celebration of creativity, collaboration, and unexpected understanding. In research stations, community centers, and impromptu gatherings around the planet, people began to realize the magnitude of what had happened. This wasn't just a defense against an alien invasion. This was a statement about human potential. The Krithax ship remained in orbit, now a shared global resource. Its advanced technologies were being used for scientific research, artistic expression, and solving some of humanity's most complex challenges. What should have been a symbol of potential destruction had become a beacon of hope and collaboration. Zelterra's report to the Galactic Consensus was unlike any first contact document in recorded history. It wasn't a military assessment. It was a celebration of an extraordinary planetary response that defied every known protocol of interstellar interaction. Humanity, the report concluded, is not a civilization to be conquered. They are a collaborative force that transforms challenges into opportunities for understanding. The invasion was over, but humanity's true journey was just beginning. 30 days after the invasion that wasn't an invasion, the world had fundamentally changed. The Krithax ship, now christened the Global Collaboration Platform, orbited Earth as a testament to humanity's extraordinary potential. What had begun as a potential conflict had transformed into the most unprecedented technological and cultural exchange in galactic history. In a small community center in Nairobi, a group of students worked alongside Krithax technical specialists, developing educational programs that merged human creativity with alien technological insights. The Krithax representatives, once conquerors, now looked more like eager students, their crystalline forms reflecting a newfound sense of wonder. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before the United Nations Special Committee on Extraterrestrial Relations, her presentation a masterpiece of scientific storytelling. Behind her, holographic displays showed the intricate transformation of the Krithax ship, now a living, breathing example of collaborative potential. "We didn't just defend ourselves," she explained, her voice calm and clear. "We invited them to understand a completely different way of existing." The global network that Maya Patel had spent years developing had become the primary communication platform for interstellar diplomacy. What began as a simple collaboration tool had evolved into humanity's most powerful diplomatic instrument. Community organizers worked alongside quantum physicists. Artists collaborated with technological experts. Indigenous knowledge keepers shared platforms with space researchers. Admiral Vexnar, once the most feared military leader in the Krithax Empire, now served as a primary liaison between Earth and the Galactic Consensus. His transformation was perhaps the most dramatic, from a conqueror to a student of human potential. "We misunderstood everything," Vexnar admitted during a global broadcast. "Conquest is not strength. Collaboration is." The Galactic Consensus watched in collective amazement. Dozens of civilizations began reassessing their own approaches to first contact, technological development, and cultural exchange. Humanity had shown them something entirely new, a way of interacting that went beyond traditional concepts of defense and conquest. In the research stations of Antarctica, in the community centers of Sao Paulo, in the technology hubs of Tokyo, people continued to work on the global collaboration platform. Each line of code, each artistic expression, each scientific breakthrough became part of a massive, living communication system that defied traditional understanding. The Krithax ship had become more than a technological marvel. It was a symbol of what was possible when creativity, empathy, and collaboration were prioritized over conflict. Dr. Hiroshi Nakamura's team of researchers developed communication protocols that merged scientific precision with artistic expression. Indigenous knowledge keepers worked alongside quantum computing experts to develop new ways of understanding technological and cultural exchange. Beatriz Santos, the street artist from Sao Paulo who had played a crucial role in the initial transformation, now led global workshops on creative problem-solving. Her community-based approach to technological innovation became a model for international collaboration. The invasion that lasted less than a minute had changed everything. Humanity had shown the galaxy that true strength wasn't about destruction. It was about understanding, creativity, and the ability to transform challenges into opportunities. As the global collaboration platform continued its orbit, broadcasting a continuous stream of human creativity, scientific discovery, and cultural expression, one thing became crystal clear: humanity's journey was just beginning. The galaxy would never be the same again. And it all started with 60 seconds of unexpected potential.